Welcome to Anselmo Academy of Music and the Arts, and we are sending you greetings from New York City. Today, we present a special feature of a duo, a voice and piano duo, Thaina Souza, soprano, and Marilia Caputo, piano. Hello and welcome, you guys. Say hi.
Hi, Vera.
Hi,
And
Vera.
hi to everyone who's listening to us. Thank you. Thank you for inviting.
Yes, of course, thank you so much for joining us. And you just heard, let me try saying it, Zugnung by Strauss. Am I correct saying it? Maybe you can say it better.
Zweigung.
Okay. I tried. Yes, thank you. And it's from a collection of songs from Opus 10. We will be sharing our guest bios, pictures, videos, dialogue, and more in just a second. And first, just a few announcements from Anselmo Academy. This is our 5th year welcoming national and international musicians to our monthly online broadcast, from talented students to esteemed pedagogues to concert performers, composers, and more. Our full enrollment is open for private and group class students all throughout New York and New Jersey. Yes, thanks so much for this flyer. You can find all information at anselmoacademy.org. We have an ongoing enrollment, so if you have any interest in any of our programming, please don't hesitate to reach out. Anselmo Academy is in its 24th school year this fall. We are a nonprofit organization, 501c3, and we specialize in organizing group classes at local schools. This past academic year, we have served over 2,500 students a week through many partnerships we have with local schools, teaching group classes in general music and piano, violin, guitar, musical theater, and more. Wonderful. Please subscribe to our social media channels. We have 2 e-newsletters that you could find at our website, anselmoacademy.org, if you scroll at the bottom right. With these newsletters, you receive not only information about our internal events that happens with the Academy, but we promote broadcasts just like this one today. So you can stay up to date with the events coming up, and we hope you enjoy our program today. Wonderful. Can we please have Thaina profile picture on the screen as I go through her bio? Wonderful. By the way, Thaina, I don't know if you know, but your name and the pronunciation means secret in my language, which is Russian. Yes. Wonderful. So, Thaina Souza, born in Belém, Para, she holds a bachelor's degree in voice performance from the University of Music and Art of Vienna in Austria, mentored by Brazilian soprano Eliane Coelho, Julia Conwell from USA, and Elena Filipova from Bulgaria. Her studies in Vienna were supported by the Carlos Gomez Foundation from Para, and she also received support from the Arte Musica Foundation from Frankfurt, Germany, and mentorship from renowned German soprano Brigitte Eisenfeld while in Berlin. In addition to her studies in Vienna, Thaina has a degree in music from the State University of Para and a postgraduate in music fundamentals of musical composition from the Federal University of Para. She has performed extensively in Brazil and Europe, primarily in Austria and Germany. And among most notable highlights include major concerts at the 54th and 55th Gilberto Mendes New Music Festivals, the world premiere recording of The Voice of the Night by Brazilian composer Lucas Gallon, and Welk's Blood by contemporary German composer Thomas Henning. In 2021, she made her debut at the Concert House and Philharmonic in Berlin with Petite Solennelle Mass de Rossini and Mozart's Requiem, respectively. In 2022, Thaina presented Gustav Mahler Fourth Symphony in Belém and performed in Jean-Baptiste Opera Armida at the 21st Opera Festival of the Paz Theater. She was also featured soloist in the award concert for the first competition of Canto Lirico Joaquina La Pina, conducted by Roberto Minzuk, and performed with the OSCT, conducted by renowned violinist Emanuele Baldini at the Theater Procopio Pereira. She participated as a soloist in the concert with the Paz Symphony Orchestra at the third edition of the Interactive Music and Architecture Festival, FIMA, performing works by Verdi, Carlos Gomez, and Amazonian composers Altino Pimenta and Valdemar Henrique. In 2024, Thaina performed Puccini's Sopranos, Lauretta, Leo, Butterfly, and Tosca in a recital commemorating the centenary of the Italian composer's death with the Paz Theater Symphony Orchestra. In São Paulo, she performed the Countess, the Marriage of Figaro by Mozart, Elvira from Ernani Verdi, Tosca from Tosca Puccini, and Rosaline from Dio Vido Maus by Strauss in a recital with the Tatui Conservatory Orchestra. Thaina has recently launched Duo Omnis alongside pianist Marilia Caputo, who is present today, and had their debut performance at the 36th International Music Festival, Amazonia, Brazil. If I did not say anything right, feel free to correct me a little bit later. Can we please have Marilia's picture on the screen as I go through her bio? Wonderful. So Marilia Caputo, also from Brazil, she's a pianist and performed throughout Europe, Latin America, United States as soloist, and also as collaborative pianist with violinist Co-Gabriel Camera Daniel Guedes and Ignace Jen, the Sao Paulo String Quartet with singers Juliana Gondek, Sony recording artist Atala Ayan, Reginaldo Pinero, and cellists Antonio Del Claro and Barbara Switalska. Caputo has performed in such venues as Wild Hall in New York, in Moscow, Russia, at Rachmaninoff Hall, Malizal and Glinka Museum, in Salzburg, Austria, the Mozarteum, in Germany at the Brahms House, and in Rio de Janeiro at Sicilia Mayorellas Hall. and in festivals such as the Pepperdine University Festival in Malibu, California, Northern Chamber Music Festival in Brazil, Para International Chamber Music Festival, Brazil, Summit Festival in New York, and Hawaii Performing Arts Festival, where she also coached alongside Ricky Lynn Gordon. Caputo started taking piano lessons in Brazil, but soon after her family moved to the United States, where she continued studies in California with Janice Sharon in Santa Barbara and later with Val Underwood. And after 2 years of formal training, she was a winner at the Santa Barbara Young Artist competition. And that same year, she played in a master class with Argentinian pianist Eduardo Delgado at Steinway Hall in Los Angeles that was publicly broadcast on television. Returning to Brazil in 84, at the Villa Lobos piano competition, she was awarded Best Interpreter of Villa Lobos and Audience Prize. And then in 89, in Brazil, she met Nelson Pierre at a series of master classes, and he was most impressed with her natural talent for the piano. Influenced by his recommendation that she should pursue her studies outside of Brazil, she decided to compete in Rio de Janeiro for a scholarship that would later send her to Moscow, Russia. The competition was held at the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro, and there she was awarded a 7-year full scholarship to attend the Moscow Conservatory, where she completed her master's degree under guidance of Lyudmila Lonchina, pupil of Samuel Feinberg and Alexander Stockman. In 98, she was awarded the Virtuoso Scholarship by the Brazilian Ministry of Culture while studying with Boris Slotsky at the Peabody Conservatory of Music in Baltimore. Marilia completed her DMA at Rutgers University in New Jersey, studying with Paul Hoffman, and was the first recipient of the Colonel Robert B. and Dr. Charlotte Craig Award. Her dissertation was on the unpublished first version of Rachmaninoff's Second Piano Sonata, and with the help of the Brazilian embassy in Moscow, Marilia was able to travel to Russia and explore manuscripts left behind by Rachmaninoff during pre-revolutionary times, and it's a rarely mentioned in Western piano literature. She taught in the successful Carolla Scholarship Program at New York School of the Arts. And while there, she coordinated many concerts at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center in New York, and her students opened concerts for Nikolai Lugansky, Yu Wang, and Lang Lang, among others. She's currently the artistic director of the Foundation Amazonica de Musica in Brazil, and her commitment is to transform the lives of Brazilian youth and expand the institution's reputation internationally. OJDM, which is Dale Musica Youth Orchestra, has performed alongside artists such as Dmitry Shishkin, Nelson Pierre, Eva Georgian, and Antonio Menezes. Caputo has recently launched Duo Omnis alongside soprano Thaina Souza and had their debut performance at the 36th Para International Music Festival, Amazonia, Brazil. And our next video would be Sabbath by Villa Lobos, which is one of the 3 indigenous poems that were composed in 1926. Take a look. Oh, wonderful. So we are going to proceed to the dialogue section. I sent you guys some questions. So let's start. Taina, so share your story of becoming, your journey of, becoming a professional musician and, your motivation and interest from early on, from your youth, etc., and to where you are today.
Yeah. I decided a professional singer. Also, Vera Marilia will help me with the translation
Yeah,
because
I
I'm
told
not
her.
fluent in English.
That's okay, great.
Yeah. And I decided to take this admission exam for the Conservatory Vienna in to, for 12 years ago. Also.
Oh.
And in this time, this decision for me it was my decision very serious in my life to sing. Sing as professional singer. And I decided my life in this time a professional singer. And my motivation is singing for me is my expression in my life, personal life, my strong, minha força maior.
Her strength.
Strength, yes.
In life.
Yes, in life. Yeah. This.
Right?
And
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how she decided to start her
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy.
Yes.
Mhm. How did you start singing? Well, like, how old were you when you first took lessons or discovered that you have voice?
I was 50 years.
15
years in Belém. And I was very encantada, very.
She was just enchanted.
Enchanted.
Mhm.
This sound, this sound, and my body vibrou completamente.
She says that she was enchanted with the sound that her body could make, and how everything sort of just vibrated.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole, her
Yes.
whole being.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. I had this essa sensação foi muito forte.
Yeah, it was just indescribable sensation.
Indescribable sensation. Yes, for me.
Yeah, acho que tu
And-
sabias, né?
Yeah.
And I think that's how she knew.
Mhm. Were there any opera singers that inspired you, who you listened to as a young girl?
No,
No?
no, nothing. I sang church music,
Okay.
popular samba, bossa nova.
Oh,
Yeah, this.
Mas,
I understand. Mhm.
No.
that's interesting.
Yeah. So
I
you came to opera later.
Yes,
Mhm.
later.
Okay.
I sang as professional singer in Brazil. I working with popular music here. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yes.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Do you still do popular music now, or you strictly focus on classical repertoire?
Now a classical repertoire.
Mhm.
Yeah. For 10 years, only classical repertoire.
Sounds great. Mhm. Who among maybe you can mention some of your teachers, who among your journey as becoming the person and a professional opera singer you are today, had the most influence in you becoming who you are? Who?
My first teacher in Vienna, she is she worked in at the Vienna Opera, and she for me is my strong
My
influence. Yes, yes,
Influence, yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
Big soprano, Eliane Coelho. Yeah,
Eliane Coelho. Yeah, she's Brazilian.
yes.
That is great. For now, let's move on to Marilia. Kind of similar question. Share your journey of becoming a classical professional pianist. This outside of the bio that, of course, we already shared and will post on Facebook as well. Share any moments that you feel are important in making of a music professional that you are today.
So for me, I grew up in a household where there was a lot of music, right? So it's we have, it's funny how we met and we have so much in common, but our backgrounds are different. Um, and my mom plays the piano. She's a pianist, and she's also a piano teacher here in
Mm.
And I always tell her that she had the most beautiful hands on the keyboard. And I think as a child, I just fell in love with her hands.
Mhm.
You know what? And I was the only child until like 4 years old. So basically, I used the piano as a means of expressing myself at a very, very early age. And I also used it as my toy. So that's the kind of relationship I had with music from the very beginning. When I started, winning those competitions, I have to tell you, I had no idea what the hell was going on. It was just something so natural for me that it didn't really seem like I had made a decision at all. I think the decision came later when I was a teenager and music just became so important in my life. And I think that when I played for Nelson didn't have that many master classes during his lifetime. Like, he didn't teach that many times. He was basically a performer. That's all he did. He didn't teach. But he was an idol for me. I admired him and I admired his playing, and the fact that he told me that, I should maybe think about pursuing this was a big deal.
Mhm.
And coincidentally, a week later, my mom received an invitation to go to this workshop / competition in Rio de Janeiro, and she showed me the invitation. It wasn't for me, it was for her. And because she, so that she could see the competition and watch whoever was performing and competing. And I looked at it and I realized that I had the program in, under my fingers. So I thought, maybe this is a sign. Maybe I should just go. And she looked at me like,
And
what?
how old were you? How old were you then? About
18.
18. Mhm.
Yeah. And I was actually studying German at the time because I was thinking I was going to go to Vienna or, Salzburg. Yeah. And so I went to Rio, and I thought it was almost impossible because they had like 40 people compete, from Brazil, from the whole country. And they were only giving one scholarship to Russia. And I thought, I'll just try this out, who
Yeah.
knows? And it turned out that I got the scholarship, and the other person who got the scholarship is Alexandre Tosin,
Mhm.
who's a pianist, also
Yes.
Brazilian.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so we both got the scholarships, and that's how I ended up in Moscow. And it was an incredible experience, very difficult, but incredibly rich in terms of the culture. I was a big fan already of Russian music, but I understood it very superficially. And I think that when I got to Russia, then things become so much just became so much clearer. And yeah, it was life-changing experience. I don't think I would have had that experience in any other place.
Mhm.
Incredible.
So since I am Russian and I'm a
Yes.
Muscovite as well, which I learned only through your bio, and so what do you think, if you have to characterize your studies in Moscow and you're living in Moscow, what stands out the most?
I mean, the quality of the experience that I had, music was like breathing, because I was involved only in music from the time I woke up. Well, maybe in, studying Russian as well, because I didn't speak Russian when I got to Russia. But it was a 100% immersion, experience. And as I said, I would wake up and go to the repetitori, at the училище. That was the first thing I did. Had breakfast, maybe something warm, chai, would go upstairs and then just practice. The level of the lessons was, very, very high level. We were expected to have everything memorized. My wanted things in tempo. And I mean, that was the deal. You had to do a lot on your own. You wouldn't come reading anything, so that you could work on the music, basically. Yeah, so my whole day was basically dedicated to doing that. And then, of course, at night we had the concerts at the conservatory. So yeah, it was just incredible. Yeah, and I made lots of friends, and Russians, lots of, well, I wouldn't say lots, but many students also from Latin America, some that were in the situation that I was, that, had gotten scholarships. So very, very, very interesting.
Tell us more from your bio about your trip to Moscow when you were writing your dissertation.
Oh, so I went back there in 2014, because I couldn't find much about what I was looking for, about the second piano sonata, Rachmaninoff piano sonata. And I had a lot of questions in regards to the text. Things that to me didn't really make sense, and why was he writing another version later on in his life? And I thought, no, something, there's a piece of this puzzle that I just can't get. I have to go to Moscow. There's an edition by John Browning that talks about his research and the research that was available to him at the Glinka Museum.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, so this is where I'm going. I just knew I had to go there. And I contacted the Brazilian embassy. And they were very open to the idea of having me come to do this, this research. They contacted the museum, and that's what happened. And it was, again, incredible, because I was able to talk to Mr. Antipov, who at the time was in charge of the new edition that they were creating of the Rachmaninoff works. A full, entire list of his works would be in this edition. And I spoke to this man. Let me actually show you the edition. The edition never really. This is one of the books. I don't know if you can see it.
It took tableau, yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the edition never got fully published. So only some volumes. I was lucky actually to get one of the volumes. And I spoke to the man for like 1 hour. He didn't speak anything else but Russian. Yeah. And he explained, all of what was going on and why they were doing this again. Because back then they already had done, an edition of all Rachmaninoff works. And so they're reviewing, this was a critical edition. And he said, well, basically what you will find in writing is not just a skeleton or sketches of the second piano sonata, but a full version of the piano sonata. And with, you know, spaces where Rachmaninoff would rewrite things after he had performed the sonata to friends like that, or in concert. So it was just very interesting to be able to observe that his way of composing. It opened up many things, you know, for me as a performer. So it was great. It was wonderful. Yeah.
Wonderful. So tell us now, how did the two of you meet? And a little bit maybe of your history of working together. That's a friendship that started your collaboration. Go ahead.
Yeah. Can you maybe say a little bit? No, fala um pouquinho.
Não, tu fala também depois do
É? Okay, all right. So I'll start. No, we actually, this is so funny.
Yeah.
We actually bumped into each other at the mall.
Mhm.
I had no idea that she was here. And I don't know if she knew I was here.
Yes.
Because this was like during, 2022, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right after the pandemic, I mean, the pandemic was still sort of happening, but things were a little looser here in Brazil in terms of, I mean, we were still like using masks, but people were already, you know, circulating. So anyway, so I got out of the cab and she took the same cab as I did. And she did not see me.
Mm-hmm.
I saw her. I thought I had seen her, but she hadn't seen me. But the cab driver knew me and said, "Did you see who that was?" And started talking to her about me. And she's like, "Oh my God, she's gonna think I was rude," you know. And it was just so funny. And then we met again because she was singing Mahler Fourth.
Yeah.
Right. So I went to a rehearsal. I had friends there. And there she was, and then I think she came in and talked to me properly, you know. and I think you know, beautiful. We started as a friendship, and then we thought, why don't we just do something together, musically? And it just clicked. You know, the work is easy. We have a very good sort of understanding on what we want to do. She talks to me and tells me what she needs, and you know, vice versa. So it's very easy. Very
That's
easy.
great. And what repertoire would you like to perform? What are your aspirations together as a duo?
We want to do some French music soon. Yeah, some Debussy, maybe chanson, Ravel.
Yeah.
I think it would go beautifully with her voice.
Chanson.
Yeah.
Chanson.
And I think that's one of our aspirations. Also, more Brazilian repertoire, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also reading some Russian romances. So she's learning a little bit of Russian from me right now.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And so together and individually also, what is your dream, Thaina?
I live my dream in this moment in my life. I live my dream. I have a fantastic pianist with me together. And my voice, I need so I'm pianist. Marilia sound is so como an orchestra, a big sound, and for my voice is amazing. And for me, it was very difficult with pianist to work it because me sentia presa.
She didn't feel like she could let her voice
to sing.
Be. Because she has such a big voice.
And with her is always easy. for me. And in my dreams, yeah, is singing. I chamber music for me is my prioridade.
Chamber music right
My
now
prioridade.
is a priority for her right now. But I also think I see her in opera, but I don't know.
In opera, I don't know.
I do.
I don't know.
I do. I think she's both. I really think she's both. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
I think she thinks that too.
chamber music is
Chamber
more. Chamber music is more.
Talvez confortável.
No, more
Fala um pouquinho então.
sincera.
Oh,
Essa diz.
okay.
Cada peça assim, eu me encontro mais.
Yeah, so she says that chamber music for her, at least right now, it's like a big discovery, I think. And also it's very sincere.
Yes.
She sings from a very honest place when she's
Mhm.
doing.
I like the artistry behind your behind your performances. I like you are an actor in addition to being a musician, and I very much enjoyed watching your performance in addition to listening. What about you, Marilia? Your dream?
Wow. So I love doing what I'm doing right now. I only would say that I would like to maybe expand and do chamber music with other instruments as well. But I'm very, very happy. And I'm actually, I think it's kind of what's going on with Thaina. I'm living in so many ways. I'm living my dream that I'm able to do this, and that I've been able to find such a beautiful partner. I would like to teach here. That's something I miss doing. I did a lot of that when I was in the United States. And just keep playing, just keep expanding. I think that's it. That's it. And I think things will just, happen accordingly. Yeah. So I'm just in a very happy place right now. It's funny because I'm not always happy with, I'm very critical about how I play and what I do. But at the same time, being around the instrument and being in music, this is it. I couldn't be happier. Yeah. And of course, being artistic director at the school means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Because I can bring my experience as a performer, I can bring in my mistakes that I've made, and maybe guide these students, out of their shells into their future. And that means a lot to me. That work means a lot to me.
One word that best describes you, Thaina.
Versatility. Versatility? Yeah.
Right? Marilia?
Oh boy. Passion. Yeah.
Sounds
Wow.
good. Any surprising facts you could share about you that we might not know? Thaina.
Algumas coisas que as pessoas não.
I am a very spiritual soul person. I have this connection with God or universal or whatever. I am a very, very spiritual person. And I'm very simple. My life is simple. I am simple. So, tem uma outra palavra para
Eu acho que é isso.
Simple. So, I like this life, my life. So, I will. Eu quero continuar vivendo de forma simples.
Yeah, she wants to just be able to live a simple simple life
Simple
connection
life.
to what really
Nice.
meant to her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Connection with people que tenham propose objetivos de crescimento
Oh,
espiritual.
and also be
material.
connected to people that have a purpose. in life.
Yes.
And you, Marilia? Surprising facts?
Boy, oh my gosh. I wanted to be a dancer when I was a little girl. And I believe that music, even though I'm not a dancer, but I think that music has the ability to move, to move your soul. And if it's done right, and if you're in touch with your body, I think your audience will be connected to the music that you're making as well. But you have to be really connected to your body to be able to do that.
That's great. Thank you, ladies. We're going to move on to our next video, Del Cabello Más Sutil by Fernando Obradores. And now move on to picture gallery that we
Wow.
have of your pictures. So say a couple of words about each one as we go through them.
Sure. Oh gosh, that was a very cool experience. I was able to work with Ricky and Gordon, and he gave me is there a restriction in terms of the words that I can use here?
Say yes.
Yes, okay. So I'm just gonna let you guess, right? But he said, "Oh, Marilia, you played the out of this piece,"
Mhm.
and
Okay.
yeah, that was a huge compliment from him. And yeah, I had the best time. This was in Hawaii. I remember that I was there for like 45 days, coaching and also playing with wonderful musicians. I barely saw the beach, and but it was all worth it. I had a blast. Yeah. I did see the beach after the festival was over. And, yeah, a friend of mine, can you imagine? A friend of mine that I hadn't connected with for many, many years from my childhood in Santa Barbara found me online and flew all the way to Kona to hear me play.
It's great.
Yeah. Oh, this is from the masterclass with Nelson Freire. My mom is right next to me in the beige dress, actually skirt and blouse. And yeah, there are many people that I hold close to my heart in this picture. The man in the very right, tall man, his name was Kaplan, and he was an Argentinian. He was a very important person in my life. I would play for him sometimes. Next to him,
Nice group. Mhm.
yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just said a nice group.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
Oh, this is from a recital at the Teatro da Paz here in Belém. And yeah, I was dressed in red. This was a phase that I had that I just had to dress in red every time I played, especially solo. This is with Atala Young. And we performed in a lot of places, including at Weill Hall, Carnegie Hall, together. Great singer. He now lives in Europe. He's in Stuttgart, right? And yeah, you can find several videos of him online performing. Great opera singer, beautiful opera singer. Oh, this is from our debut recital at Santo Alexandre Church. This is yeah, from the festival earlier this year. It's so funny because it just seems like it was a long time ago, and it was just this year in June this year. And by the way, we're repeating the concert that we played there because there were so many people asking for a repeat, and we will be repeating it in about 2-3 weeks.
Well, that's great. Well, feel free
Yeah.
to send us a flyer if you want us to post and
Oh,
promote.
come on. Yes, we will.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Isso foi no concurso, no Lapinha, no concurso em São
Uhum.
Paulo. Ganhei.
So this is the
Forte,
this is at the
Dois
competition 2 years ago that she won. In São
Ariadne
Paulo.
of Naxos, this piece. This essa foto foi.
Yeah, this picture was taken when she was
Strauss,
singing
yeah.
Strauss, Ariadne. Yes. Yeah.
Em São Paulo, com a Orquestra de São Paulo, eu cantei Wagner e Puccini.
So she sang
Yes.
Wagner and Puccini that night in São Paulo.
In São Paulo. Yeah. Very special moment. Okay, this year in Belém, new, very. This
This
photo,
picture.
picture is was Liu, the Duque de Gel Tinta. Yeah, the second area from Liu. Yeah, very big emotional. Foi uma emoção muito intensa.
Yeah. Yeah, this picture
Intensive.
specifically. Yes. Oh boy. Yeah.
Foi projeto. Fala que foi teu projeto.
This was actually something that I was involved in as a producer. I wasn't playing. They were not allowing any of the producers to play. It was strictly, if you were producing, you were strictly producing. So I was the producer, one of the producers behind this performance. And it was a great experience. You know, being backstage is not easy. And you know, just being able to organize everything, and Thaina very graciously accepted the invitation to come and sing.
Essa canção Tambatajá.
And this
Fala da lenda.
song, yeah, it talks about a legend, Tambataja, an Amazonian legend. Né?
Ah, é. E também em São Paulo, com um grande maestro, né? This person, this Emanuele Baldini, an Italian maestro, he lived in Brazil, in São Paulo. He is very special musician. Ele entende, não fala mais rápido, ele entende sobre música mais profundamente.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has a very deep understanding about music and performance, and he's worked with great conductors in São Paulo. He's one of the first, not just first violin, but he's the in Portuguese we say Spala. Now I forgot the word. In Russian, I think Concertmeister of the orchestra of this state orchestra of São Paulo. It's one of the greatest orchestras in São Paulo. So there he is, and he's a big supporter of Thaina's talent.
Yes.
And voice, yes, of course.
Em Frankfurt, isso foi em 2018, em Frankfurt, cantando Mozart, de Noite de Figaro. Foi concerto dos bolsistas, na verdade.
Yeah, this was something that she did in Frankfurt.
In Frankfurt,
yeah. And she sang Mozart.
Lá te darei la mano.
Yeah. So it was a scholarship concert that she sang.
Wonderful. And we have one more video from the same 3 poems by Villa-Lobos. The last one is called Lara. Take a look.
Que não queria ceder pra se levantou e desapareceu na água do rio. Se levantou e desapareceu na água do rio. Então principiaram a falar que a Iara cantava era moça, cabelo xirinho esverdeado do rio. Brincando, subiu na cara do pai a bicada no pau. Botou a mãozinha na água funda
Beautiful. Can you tell us a little bit, Marilia, about these poems by Villalobos? I know you sent me some information, but I think it's best if you tell a little bit about the history behind it. Go ahead.
Sure. So Villalobos wandered around Brazil collecting um, information about, folk music, and he was always very interested in that. And the two first poems, or actually the first song, has two songs in it. So part of it, and it's interesting how he arranged the structure according to those two songs. The second one, which we didn't send you, is about a shamanic sort of ritual. And well, the first one is about, I guess, the importance.
Canideio,
Sim,
da ave, né? É uma ave também que fala sobre morte.
yeah. So the Canide, which is a bird,
Morte
and
e
you can see by
renascimento.
her movements and everything,
Mhm.
it talks about death and being reborn. So and again, and the second one talks about death, right?
Também, uma morte do xamã.
But the death of a shaman,
mais
and how,
importante da tribo.
yeah, the person who's the most important leader. And I mean, he's not the leader of the tribe, but spiritually he is, right? So his death and what happens to the tribe after he dies.
Uhum.
And then the third one is about the Iara, which is our, mermaid. And I think all over the world there are folk tales about mermaids, right? But this one specifically is by Mario, the text is by Mario de Andrade. And Mario de Andrade is from a more modern sort of school of writing. And he distorts the tale. So this isn't a beautiful woman anymore, because in the original tale, it's a beautiful woman who enchants men, right? They hear her song and they get completely mesmerized and sink, she's able to sink ships. She's able to drown men that come, and go into the river and go looking for her. And she just, like Rusalka, and other.
Of course, yes. Yeah.
Yes,
Same.
just. But the thing is that in this case, he pictures her as an ugly woman that lives under the waters of the Amazon that are very dark because of the clay that's underneath, so you can't see through. And she's not pretty. Her hair is made of like lime. It's sort of like green, this green sort of musk texture. And she actually, I think she killed her two brothers, right? Because they were attacking her. And her father cursed her to the end of times, to becoming this horrible, ugly creature. And she only killed them because they were attacking her, which is horrible in any case, right?
Yeah.
But condemned to live as a ugly, beast underwater for the rest of her life as a punishment. Yeah. So Father Siki, the Siki is the leader of a tribe, not the spiritual leader, but the war leader of the tribe. So they have different functions inside the
Very
tribe.
interesting. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, both of you, Thaina, Marilia, for
Thank you.
joining us today. And we wish you all the best in your future projects and endeavors. May all your dreams come through. And we
Thank you.
thank everyone for watching. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Vera.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.